Colleen Farrington, and this year we're here with Miss Ghandi Reckley. She is one of our 2017 Print Things in Dayline Fitness Pinktober Pink T-shirt campaign recipients, and sitting here with the diva, Miss Reckley. So, Miss Reckley, when were you first diagnosed?
First of all, let me start with this. Giving thanks to the Most High God, because without Him, I would not be sitting here with this long hair. Good. I'm 34 years old. I was diagnosed at the age of 23. Girl, you want me to tell you about that story? You want me to tell you about that story? All right. So, I was involved in a car accident at the age of, I think it was 22. Anyhow, the steering wheel hit my left chest, and I noticed that the lump started growing really, really aggressively in my chest. So, like us poor folk, we go to BMH. So I go on there, the doctor did, I can't even remove the specimen to send it off to see if it's cancerous or not. So the doctor was like, no, it's not cancerous. So I'm like, okay, good, he removed it, I Gucci. When I look, miss, a couple months later, the lump grew back in my chest even more aggressively. So, I look for the doctor, right? When I look for the doctor, they must have done the bottom back, baby, because he was not there anymore. So then, still to see what's going on with the chest, right? So they did the same thing all over again, sent another sample, and when they sent it off, no doctor gave me the return card. So here I go now with this lump growing aggressively in my chest. I don't know what to do. Scared as bricks, because I'm young. So anyway, went back to the doctor again. This was a lot of trips to the doctor, miss. I went back, and the doctor gave me a card that says, come back in the next 3 months. So I'm like, okay, fine. Let me come back, let me see what's going on. I couldn't make it past a month. The lump was my chest, and I get much worse, you can see that. And I'm like, you know what? I did my research, so me going into a doctor's office, they wasn't going to scare me and tell me, girl, you got cancer. I know what that was, baby. No way, that could have been no fibrotic burst. It was hard, protruding, shiny. I really wish I could take some pictures, but I didn't. Thank God, that was scary. So, this was a Friday, that's what time surgical clinic this be, to Princess Margaret Hospital. And miss, that woman, the woman who used to have to carry the little green card too, she's got plenty attitude, you hear me? All right. So I go on back there, and I say, ma'am, I need to see the doctor. I said, I know what this card says. This card says 3 months. I said, ma'am, I can't do it. I said, I feel like in 3 months, you're all going to be singing, ain't it sweet, by and by. So she looked at me, she said, miss, this card says, come back in 3 months. Mom, I tell you no lie. Surgical clinic, everyone was there. Your mother, your daddy, your auntie, even the little cherry to the breast was there. And I had on a onesie, no bra. I couldn't take no bra. And I zipped down the onesie, and everybody in surgical clinic see the good and the bad breast. I said, now miss, you tell me if you think I need to see a doctor today to now. Well, honey, I know how they get my files in the back there so quick. They said, Ghandi's fair weather. I said, present. Keep in mind now, my chest still show it. But at this time, I had no pride, miss. I feel like I could die. So, went in to the doctor's office. I will not call the doctor name that diagnosed me, because he had no regard that I was young and don't know what's going on with my body. But he said to me after he left, like 6 interns filled me up, 3 of them boys. He said, ma'am, you have stage 4 breast cancer, and if you don't do anything about this now, you're going to be dead in like 2.5 years. Yep, that's what he told me. So for him saying that, you trying to play Jesus, I said, you know what, sir? I think I'm going to need to do a second opinion. So he was like, I just told you that you're going to be dead in 2.5 years, and you act as if I just told you you want a cooler full of Coke soda. I'm like, sir, you know, I did my research. Nothing you're going to say to me right now is going to scare me. I say, are you ready for this battle? And that's what I said. And then I was referred to Dr. Delton Ferguson. And I kid you not, Delton treated me like I had a common cold, honey. He was like, let's just get the rubber tussin, drink that for a couple of days, honey, and you shall be healed. That's my story.
Oh. Wow. You make so like you're speaking and I am like it's like a sitcom I'm watching and I'm watching Living Single right now. And then you're so bubbly with it. So you got past all of this. So what treatments, what family treatments?
Okay.
Do you do?
I refused the radiation.
Mm-hmm.
I saw what it did to persons who I know in terms of how, like I feel like yes, when we do radiation, I feel something's go wrong this year, something go wrong that week, that year. Like one of my personal friends, I know some people just need to do radiation, but I just didn't think that it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, listen, y'all can give me all the chemo y'all want. It ain't that serious. So put me in this hair because God invented wig.
Mm-hmm.
And miss, I can tell you one thing. When you take chemo, honey, every piece of hair on you, even on your toenails, disappear. So for those who like to hold on to their hair, honey, I'm sorry to hear that. But I was ready to get through this little river.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you did, so you did your chemo.
Yes, I did. It's called the really aggressive one that makes you sick. I call it the Kool-Aid one. Miss, that is making sick, honey. Anybody would take chemo. Oh, Jesus. Chemo is no joke, honey. Not at all.
And this is in your 20s?
23. Yes.
I mean, what could have been going, because I mean, in your 20s, this is partying club, but the last thing you're thinking about
is taking the same thing.
Major.
I was like, I'm sick out of the hate me. That's how I feel. But listen to me, I can tell you one thing. My mommy is not here now, God rest her soul. She's been dead 2 years now. She didn't die from cancer, she died from sickle cell. But when I say I had a praying mother, can I tell you, if I hear another Creflo Dollar healing sermon, I'll go crazy. That was embedded in my brain. I had the headphones on, honey, and when I go to bed, I hear Creflo Dollar voice. Yes, yes. You shall be healed. You shall be delivered. You will get past this. I can tell you that, honey. My mother was a prayer warrior, and we sailed straight through that. I had the support of my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, a couple of my friends. But yes, I felt the same way. I was like, at 23, I'm supposed to be partying, trying to figure out which hangover I'm going to have on which Friday, which Saturday, or which Sunday. But you know what I had to be dealing with? Cancer.
So, well, I would say, I want to ask you, how did your quality of life change? Of course, during that time that you couldn't be in the clubs and such, you know, but did you feel like you were robbed?
I think now, being older, I feel like I was robbed. Because when I was younger, I wasn't fresh. Like it made me feel like I really should have had a baby when I come straight out of school. Because that slow the process down in terms of you having a kid or whatever the case is. Because like I said, I was stage 4. So I think probably for me to say me have a child now, I probably have to do chemo while I try to have a child.
Oh, wow.
And then stage 4. And the cancer was very aggressive. So for me to go try to get pregnant now, it only could be God. Because, you know, the cancer feed off of your mammary glands.
Yes, and then you have hormonal changes, and some people actually, because I recently learned that a lady developed cancer when she got pregnant.
Yeah, that happens.
Because of the hormonal changes. That's amazing. I mean, you was at your 20s. I mean, cancer is always traditionally something that older women get.
Yeah, back in the day.
Because I mean, to the point where, I mean, one time I felt the thing when I went, let's freak out. I went and they refused. I'm like, no, unless you're 40, you can't get a mammogram. So when you're saying that you're, you know, in your early 20s, not even like 28 or something, early 20s, you just left teenagerhood.
Mr. Ramido, ma'am, you cannot get a mammogram. Listen to me, I got something for you right now. This letter from my doctor. Here you go, boo.
Man. So that's how you did it?
Yes. Listen to me.
This is some...
Listen to me. Different strokes for different folks. I know that people just take it like, oh my God, I have cancer. I'm gonna die. What am I gonna do? Listen to me, honey. In the house that I grew up in, I was taught that whatever God brings you to, He will bring you through. So what was I to do? Lay there, play dead. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I thought I was content. You know, like when you and the turtle bowl is best friends. And I say, you know what, I just might as well write my obituary. Because I don't know if I can make it through this. And mommy is like, you shall live and not die. So how I can tell my mommy, let me see how much cousins I have to write down in this obituary. So all I could do was live. I lived.
That's so, I mean, it's amazing, like, you animated and the way you put it. Like, it's supposed to be serious, and you make it just like, because I know people who, I mean, even growing up, you just didn't, cancer's not something you said. Because I used to think, if you said the word, you know, when you're young, and people say, don't say that, you get it. Because it was like a forbidden something, it was like a death sentence. Even now with medical technology and everything and so much information, a lot of people still want to hide in the shadows, or they just lay back and they die, literally. Before there's a funeral, they already died. They lose their will, you know, to live. I remember when my adopted mom was diagnosed a few years back, and that decision didn't even, I was like, you're not gonna think. She said, no, doc, take them both off. But it took her like over a year, and she's like, we were at the Susan G. come, she said, I had cancer? I said, but we all knew. She's like, yeah, but no, I had cancer. And that was the first time she stopped long enough to like, because it was just a going. And everybody deals with it different. What I like about what we're doing is when people like yourself, well, everyone is different, but the way you just brought this is definitely a first. But when people share their stories, because there are a lot of people out there who just want to hide, they're embarrassed. It's like, once they've gotten that diagnosis, it's almost as though they were given a death sentence. And it's good for them to hear from other people who have fought, who have made it, to know that, you know, there's life afterwards. You can live and thrive because nobody will look at you and think you had what? That is amazing. And then in your 20s, I am still wrapped around in your 20s, because that's almost unheard of at such a, that's the last thing any young person is thinking about. Like you said, it's about, you know, the clubbing. So this is so encouraging, because some people need that strength. And then you had your mom, you had your family, that support system. And that's one of the things that we keep hearing when people have family. That is so important to have that support system, because they can do all the chemo and radiation, but if there's nobody, you don't have that human contact to constantly speak life to you, speak life over you on the days when, yes, your spirit is going to fail you, you're going to feel bad, but when you have somebody who's telling you, you shall live and not die, well, that's coming from your mom, you have no choice but to believe that, like, yeah, you ain't coming to her with no, and there are some people who feel like they don't have that support system. They're ashamed. Some people lose friends and such, but to have people around you who strengthen you, everybody, but you had your mom, you had your family, that says a lot. But let me tell you, the way you brought this across, it's, what do you have to say to someone who is fighting, who is going through it? Because some people, they beat it. And not them. The medication beat it, science beats it. But afterwards, it's like their whole lifestyle changes and they rather than to thrive, they sort of just allow it. No, I can't do this, I can't do that, I have cancer. What do you say to people like that who allow the disease to just consume their entire life? Because obviously you from the break.
Okay. But I have a lot to say about it. Me, sitting back and analyzing and seeing that there are also a lot of young persons that are now being diagnosed with breast cancer, some younger than me. Number one, I think that the hardest part for a young person is to let go of the breast.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right there. Because, like, even for me, like, because I felt that I had the cancer in my left breast, I'm like, sir, 23. I know I can get married one day. Please, for the love of God, let the man be able to suck on one if I don't have to lose the two. So that was what I said. And like I counsel a lot of persons, like people who just give persons my number for me to talk to them. There was this one lady, I can't call her name. She's afraid to depart with her breasts. Because she got small waist, honey, and breasts like that. Because trust me, when your chest big, baby, from they cut off one, you better let them cut off two. Because ain't no prosthetic piece could be able to fit no big chest. So a lot of persons are dealing with the fact of letting go of the breast. Let go of them breasts. Do, I don't know, car wash. If you're in the good insurance, you could always go and get a reconstruction. Don't lose your life for no breasts. Some people caught up on the hair thing. When they do the chemo, the hair is going to go. When it grows back, you might have a lot gray. If you never gray before, because my hair grew back. Little grayish. But honey, weave out there. Weave is out there. Weave is out there. Put that weave on, get you a good stylist, and do what you need to do. But also, it's the being sick part of it that people don't like. But listen to me, because the chemo kills the good and the bad cancer cells, you gotta go through. Listen to me, it don't make no sense. You having a whole testimony and you don't been through nothing. It has to be a test. It has to be a test. Also, get yourself involved in a very good support group. I'm a part of the Sister and the Caring and Sharing support group. You have to get involved. You have to share your story. You cannot be cooped up inside a house. You will talk to yourself and die. You just have to get people that support. And I can understand why some people feel a need to be so sheltered in terms of not telling people their business. Because humans ain't loyal, honey. These people will get all the business, and then when you all fall out, they be like, oh, you're rotten in body, you're dying from cancer. I can see why people feel that way. But you have to be on one accord with persons that have been through what you have been through. Sister, caring and sharing, and a supportive family, and God, you got this.
That is absolutely awesome, especially with the, aside from your family, to have other people who have gone through. I think that is very important, because for some people, for them, nobody else knows how I feel. And it feels like it's only them. And then when they have to sit back in retrospect and hear somebody else tell their story, they go, yeah, they ain't, oh, she made it, oh yeah, I can do this.
Yes.
And sometimes that's what people need to hear, somebody who has already gone through. And I think that is what a lot of people, that's the whole purpose of surviving. You have already went through the minefield. You know where to step, and you're able to say, hey, from across there, look, lead and guide somebody through. And that's what a lot of people probably need, because they don't know. I mean, we know our country where we live, a lot of things that are really important and vital tend to be trial and error. You go to put in an application for something, and then you find out you need to go from East Street, but then you need to go out west, and then you have to come back. It's trial and error. So it's good to have people who have gone through it, who can lead and guide and make it easier. And then to hear their story and make it, because when we going through, we think we're the only person in the world who's hurting, and oh Jesus, why me? And then you get to hear somebody else share what they went through, and then you start to feel like, oh, Father, forgive me, because wow, this is a joke.
Yeah.
And that's so important. But your attitude is just amazing. I have never heard somebody share like, seriously, I was picturing Regine from Living Single. I was like, oh, I can see Regine telling this. That's just absolutely amazing. And you know, this is what we wanted to be like, and that's why we were so happy to partner with J-Line. This is a gym, but it's so much more than a gym. This ain't the fancy, you know, matching everything gym and people. No, it's somewhere you come, you work out, but it's good for not physical, just physical, but also for emotional and for mind, because a lot of people physically look good, and that the mind just isn't there. You know, it's out of shape, their body in shape, but their mind isn't. And it's one of the big passions of Jen and John, the proprietors of this establishment. This whole facility is just based on faith for them, and that, I think, is what gets a lot of people through, also through the cancer, because you don't know what's at the end, but you fight anyway, you know, and every day it's a fight. Every single day it's a fight. You literally will yourself. And I'm so thankful, Darren and I are so thankful that, you know, every year, John, our sisters, we've both lost people to cancer, you know, and it's hard. One of the things that Darren and I found out was that you have a lot of people, one of the drawbacks is, how am I going to fund it? I can't afford it. I don't have insurance. I don't have this. I don't have that. And then we realized that, okay, you could have gone through the surgery. Look here, it's not over after you've beat it, because when those bills start coming in, they never stop.
Okay, it's still over.
You know, and it's so much. And not everybody gets to make it on the list. And, you know, so we wanted to do where we can impact somebody directly. You don't have to go through, because you're already going through a lot. And to have to go through the interview, the list, and all of this other stuff, sometimes you just need somebody to say, here, don't worry about this. You know, you could just scratch this off the list. That's what we want to do. And John has been such a big help, because, you know, he's the strength of his wife. He's the strength of this campaign, because when all the rest of us are busy, John is out there, he's pushing the shirts. He gets to see one-on-one the people who are coming and supporting. So John, you're going to speak now on behalf of you and your wife.
Well, on behalf of J-Line, we've embraced and enjoyed partnering with Print Tingz on this campaign, because it's stories like yours that, I mean, people need to hear, and your story is one from such a young age that your role in this might be even bigger than you even know, because you're coming at it from such a young age. You can tell people, and you might actually have gone into this whole thing almost a little naive, and not with all those worries that everybody else at an older age is worrying about, kids and all these other things. You attacked it because you're fighting for your life. You know, with the support of your mother and your family and friends and everything else. And the key part is the stories have to get out there. And you have such a great attitude on telling your story. Carlene is right. When I was listening to you tell it, I mean, I thought I was watching a TV show. I you know, it seemed fiction, you know. And, but that just shows your strength, and it shows that you can have a good attitude on telling what has happened to you and spreading your story. And then the other part I got is when you talked about your support groups, because I don't think in all of the interviews we've done, I don't remember anybody else talking about a support group other than their spouse or their parents. And that is, technology has come along, because now you have WhatsApp and you have these groups that you're able to instantly help somebody. Just today, one of our main trainers, we were talking about the support group we have for one of our morning classes, and saying how there's so many more people in the morning class that stayed for a good period of time in the gym this year because of that group. We've got like these two mothers, and they check on you and they make sure, and you know, if you don't show up to the gym, if somebody's missing for 2 days, they're on you, and you're accountable.
Yeah.
And so if you're feeling depressed and somebody doesn't see you check in, they can check you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't check you, they can come find you. And that is the beauty of that support group, because they're going to make sure they keep you under their wing. And that's beautiful. So I applaud the strength that you have. That's quite a story. That's quite a life you've lived to this point. And you should be proud, because when they denied you, you made them do what they had to do. And that's, that's courage. So it's been a pleasure meeting and hearing your story. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
it's amazing. Well, you really have us. But we want to say thank you. We want to be a blessing to you, because we know that the price tag with fighting and surviving cancer and thriving afterwards, when you see the bill, it's just as shocking as the diagnosis. That alone could change your quality of life more than the illness itself. And as I said before, not everybody gets to go on the list, not everybody's able to help, and even if they do, it's still just never enough. Because, you always have to do your follow-ups, and you have to be checking. It never ends. You can't sleep on it. And so we thankful for all of the people, the companies that have supported. They've gotten t-shirts, even the schools and such, and made this possible, that we can be a blessing and put the seed into your life, to help alleviate, a bill or two, and we thank you for sharing your story, because I am very certain that this is going to help, many, 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 many people, because your attitude is unlike, nobody talks about having cancer like that. It does not. It's serious, and it's normally, but you took it to I'm telling you, Regine. You made it like, you would have you would really, I could just see somebody watching this and be like, what the heck? But it's more than positive, it's bubbly. You turned it into really a sitcom type thing. Like you were telling the story and hearing it. It's like, is it really real? Did it really happen? Like it was so scripted. And that strength, and somebody needs that. Because for some people they need, yes, it's serious, but they don't need to focus on it like that. And some people actually need to know that it's okay. Yeah. It's really okay to be, you can be just as aggressive as the disease.
Yes.
Just because it's aggressive doesn't mean you shrink back. You be just as aggressive. You're strong during the battle and after. And we just want to say thank you so much on behalf of Print Things and J9 Fitness. You continue to fight and continue to share and encourage others, and continue to slay, because you've been slaying. You've been slaying. So thank you so very, very much.